It is week number 8 of the high school football season, and tonight, the Wildcats of Mayfield made the short trek out west here to Geauga County to take on your Chardon Hilltoppers. How you doing, everyone? Matt Jaworski, Ryan Radke with you as we get you set for this one. And Ryan, the Hilltoppers looking to build off that momentum they created last week as they ended that 2-game losing streak.
Yeah, it was a big win last week against Willoughby South. You know, everything, they made some adjustments to what they were doing on the field with the blocking up front. All of it led to big points and a good week for the offense. And they are going to look to keep that rolling against a Mayfield team that does have some team speed on defense, but you would think represents another good opportunity for the Hilltoppers to get out there and keep building on a week ago.
Well, folks, with that, we're going to pause, take a timeout. When we come back, we'll have pregame festivities for you. It's senior night right here on GTV.
The Chardon Hilltopper Gridiron Club, in association with GTV, proudly presents Chardon Hilltopper Varsity Football. Tonight's game is brought to you by the Chardon Gridiron Club, the original Burr Funeral Home and Cremation Service, Chardon Smile Center, Achilles Running Shop, Ashes Mayfield Window Cleaning Company, Best Funeral Homes, the Junction Auto Family, Precision Orthopedics Specialties, Roniak Paving, Remax Traditions, Dan McCaskey and Terry Combs, El Patron Mexican Grill and Cantina, the Chardon Athletic Boosters. Chardon Hilltopper Football is also brought to you by GTV.
Good evening and welcome to the 2024 Football Cheers Senior Parent Night at Chardon High School. Before we begin the introductions, we want to commend and thank all our seniors for their dedication, hard work, and their many contributions to the Chardon football and cheer programs, as well as their sportsmanship and the positive example they set for the younger players. Parental participation is also crucial to the success of all athletic programs. We appreciate all our parents and their support of Chardon athletics throughout the years. Thanks to all of you, cheerleaders, players, and parents, for making Chardon football and Chardon cheerleading such outstanding programs. And now let's recognize our seniors. First, please welcome our senior cheerleaders, presented in alphabetical order. Sophia Andler, escorted by her parents, Rachel and Will Andler, and her sister, Audrey. Sophia would like to recognize Mrs. Jennifer McClintock as her most influential teacher. After high school, Sophia plans to attend The Ohio State University to study pre-law. Tori Cole, escorted by her parents, Kim and Dan Cole, and brother Andrew. Tori would like to recognize Senora Carrie Karenke as her most influential teacher. After high school, Tori plans on attending a 4-year university looking to enter into the medical field. Lily Meyer, escorted by her mother, Nicole Meyer. After high school, Lily plans to attend college on a pre-med track to become a doctor. Sarah Patingalo, escorted by her mom, Jennifer Straka, and her dad, Rick Patingalo. After high school, Sarah plans to become a medical esthetician. Hannah Smith, escorted by her mom, Sarah Umholtz, her dad, Ryan Smith, and her stepdad, Matt Umholtz. Hannah would like to recognize Mr. Fritz Streif as her most influential teacher. After high school, Hannah would like to attend Miami University and study kinesiology. Now let's start with the 2024 Senior Hilltopper football players in numerical order. Number 3, Caleb Hewitt, escorted by his parents, Gail and Mitch Hewitt. Caleb would like to recognize Mrs. Tara Kaiser as his most influential teacher. After graduating from high school, Caleb will obtain his real estate license and plans to attend college to major in business and run track. Number 0, Dakota Warren, escorted by his parents, Heather and Steve Warren. Dakota would like to recognize Mrs. Cindy Newman as his most influential teacher. After high school, Dakota plans to attend college for sports medicine and then attend medical school. Number 1, Beckett Dotson, escorted by his parents, Sam and Nate Dotson. Beckett would like to recognize Mr. Dan Robertson as his most influential teacher. After high school, Beckett plans on attending a 4-year college and is considering studying dentistry. Number 2, Gavin Roboleski, escorted by his parents, Michelle and Mike Roboleski. Gavin would like to recognize Dr. Becky Schneider as his most influential teacher. After high school, Gavin plans to attend The Ohio State University, majoring in business with a sports management focus. Number 4, Tyler Knorr, escorted by his parents, Heidi and Scott Knorr. Tyler would like to recognize Mrs. Karen Ritchie as his most influential teacher. After high school, Tyler plans to attend college and major in business. Number 5, Kevin Mannery, escorted by his parents, Faith and Brad Mannery. Kevin would like to recognize Mrs. Karen Ritchie as his most influential teacher. After high school, Kevin plans to attend trade school and work in construction. Number 6, Vince Valletto, escorted by his parents, Angela and Chris Valletto. Vince would like to recognize Mr. Doug Hyam as his most influential teacher. Number 7, Braden McDevitt, escorted by his parents, Kristen and Jeremy McDevitt. Braden would like to recognize Mrs. Dawn Weaver as his most influential teacher. After high school, Braden plans to attend college and is undecided on which institution. Number 8, Logan Webster, escorted by his parents, Laura and Derek Webster. Logan would like to recognize Mrs. Karen Ritchie as his most influential teacher. After high school, Logan will be attending college but is undecided where. Logan plans to study business, entrepreneurship, and make a lot of money. Number 11, Andrew Talty, escorted by his parents, Stephanie and Kevin Talty. Andrew would like to recognize Mrs. Tara Kaiser as his most influential teacher. After high school, Andrew plans to attend a 4-year university to study sports journalism or be a detective. Number 13, Sam Sasrich, escorted by his parents, Trish and Scott Sasrich, and his brother, AJ Sasrich. Sam would like to recognize Dr. Becky Snyder as his most influential teacher. After high school, Sam plans to become an athletic trainer and continue his football career as a kicker in college. Number 14, Brandon Drotleff, escorted by his dad, Bob Drotleff, his aunt, Jana Gandolfi, and his brother, Nick Drotleff. Brandon would like to recognize Mr. Eric Bartley as his most influential teacher. After high school, Brandon plans to go into real estate. Number 18, Neil Curry, escorted by his mom, Shirley Crosby. Neil would like to recognize Mr. Greg Frank as his most influential teacher. After high school, Neil plans to attend trade school to become an electrician. Number 22, Chad Prince, escorted by his parents, Tina and John Prince. Chad would like to recognize Mrs. Christy Tominski as his most influential teacher. Chad is currently undecided on his plans after high school. Number 24, Blake Masterson, escorted by his mom, Danielle Hale. Blake would like to recognize Mrs. Rhonda Garrett as his most influential teacher. After high school, Blake plans to either attend Kent State University or pursue a career as an electrical lineman. Number 27, Iker Amaro, escorted by his parents, Bertha and Dan Amaro. Iker would like to recognize Mr. Dan Chenoweth and Mr. Jason Hall as his most influential teachers. After high school, Iker plans to attend The Ohio State University to study aerospace engineering. Number 28, Caden Foley, escorted by his mom, Joyce Foley, and his dad, Dan Foley. Caden would like to recognize Mr. Nick Salatino as his most influential teacher. After high school, Caden plans to join the military and then attend college with the dream of becoming a lawyer. Number 31, Isaac Derone, escorted by his parents, Annie and Nick Derone. Isaac would like to recognize Mrs. Tara Kaiser as his most influential teacher. After high school, Isaac plans to go straight into the workforce. Number 32, Alexander Ash, escorted by his mom, Donnell Ash, and his dad, Eric Ash, his brother, Evan Ash, and his sister, Olivia. Alexander would like to recognize Mrs. Kim Avery as his most influential staff person. After high school, Alexander is undecided on his plans, but he will attend college, join the military, or enter the trades. Number 34, Vinnie Columbi, escorted by his parents, Regina and Carl Columbi, his sister Angelina, and his brother Carlo. Vinny would like to recognize Mrs. Karen Ritchie as his most influential teacher. After high school, Vinny plans to attend a 4-year university majoring in business. Number 57, Boyce Lucha, escorted by his parents Anna and James Lucha. Boyce would like to recognize Coach Brian Long as his most influential teacher. After high school, Boyce plans to attend college to major in business and hopes to one day own his own business. Number 58, Matthew Kortansky, escorted by his parents Pam and Peter Kortansky. After high school, Matthew plans to attend the College of St. Joseph, the Worker in Steubenville, Ohio. Number 63, Joe Rath, escorted by his mom, Sherry Rath, and his dad, John Rath. Joe would like to recognize Mr. Josh Leikola as his most influential teacher. After high school, Joe is undecided on his plans. Number 68, Griffin Kimbrough, escorted by his parents, Melissa and Terry Kimbrough. Griffin would like to recognize Mr. Brent Hilston as his most influential teacher. After high school, Griffin plans to pursue a career in engineering by continuing his education and learning on the job. Number 70, Luke Mosley, escorted by his parents Daniela and Steve Mosley. Luke would like to recognize Mrs. Tracy Britt as his most influential teacher. After high school, Luke plans to pursue a degree in electrical engineering. He is undecided on what college he will attend. Number 71, Tredell Graves, escorted by his mom, Anna Kolunzik, and his dad, Tredell Graves Sr. Tredell would like to recognize Mrs. Tara Kaiser as his most influential teacher. After high school, Tredell plans to attend college and major in biochemistry. Number 79, Chris Pisco, escorted by his mom, Chrissy Novotny, and dad, Chris Pisco. Chris would like to recognize Madame Shannon Dalton as his most influential teacher. After high school, Chris plans to attend Bowling Green to pursue a degree in accounting. Number 80, Cameron Fulton, escorted by his mom, Lisa Brannigan, and his dad, Chris Fulton. Cameron would like to recognize Mrs. Melissa Downs as his most influential teacher. After high school, Cameron plans to continue working at Geauga Mechanical in the HVAC field. Please join together for one more warm round of applause for the Chardon High School football players and cheer seniors. Good evening once again, ladies and gentlemen. Introducing the 2024 Chardon Hilltopper Marching Band. The band is being led onto the field by drum major Jared Pike. A special thank you to all of our band parents for donating snacks and water this season, but a huge shout out goes to Karen Murphy for coordinating. We appreciate all of your help. Okay, Hilltoppers, here is Ohio State's Buckeye Battle Cry. All right, Topper fans, put your hands together for the Hey Song. would you now please stand if you are able, and gentlemen, remove your hats as we honor our country with the national anthem and remain standing for a special edition of the Chardon High School alma mater, recognizing all of our seniors at their last regular season home game.
Sarah, go in the middle. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a big round of applause for the class of 2025.
The Chardon Hilltopper Gridiron Club, in association with GTV, proudly presents Chardon Hilltopper Varsity Football. Tonight's game is brought to you by the Chardon Gridiron Club, the original Burr Funeral Home and Cremation Service, Chardon Smile Center, Achilles Running Shop, Ashes Mayfield Window Cleaning Company, Best Funeral Homes, the Junction Auto Family, Precision Orthopedics Specialties, Roniak Paving, Remax Traditions, Dan McCaskey and Terry Combs, El Patron Mexican Grill and Cantina, the Chardon Athletic Boosters. Chardon Hilltopper Football is also brought to you by GTV.
And here come your Chardon Hilltoppers! Welcome back, everyone. Matt Jaworski, Ryan Radke with you. As a little bit unusual tonight, it's a Thursday night edition of high school football here on GTV. Hilltoppers and Wildcats getting set to go here in just a couple minutes. Ryan, short week for both teams. Both coaches talked about they had to do some things different, kind of compact things more into one, but man, a lot of things riding on the line for both teams tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. You come in, it's a short week, as you mentioned, but both teams are having a short week. They both had to condense those schedules. You do everything you normally do, but maybe spend less time on it. But that's all right, because both teams are in the same situation. They come out here, and you're right, the Hilltoppers are looking to build. It was a big win last week against Willoughby South, and they want to keep that going here this week against a Mayfield team that definitely on the offensive side of the football, Matt, not the season the Wildcats would have envisioned from the outset. They do struggle at times to score points. They kind of go running back by committee this year, and because of that, although they have talented quarterback and some talent at the receiver position, with the running game at times completely stalling out, they struggle to get that passing game going. And of course, if you already have a running game that's prone to stalling out and you're coming in for a night against the Hilltoppers, could be a very long night offensively for the Wildcats.
Indeed, it could be. For Mayfield, though, right now they sit 18th in the computer point standings in Division II Region 5. The path to the playoffs, and unfortunately for them, basically a game against either Walsh Jesuit or Archbishop Hoban, is this. You have to win 2 of your 3 final games, and amongst those games, it's the Hilltoppers, it's the Beavers of Riverside, and then the Rebels of Willoughby South.
Yeah, and so that's the thing. If you're Mayfield, you're sitting there saying, we got to steal one of these and then try to beat a Willoughby South team that's got some skill on it in Week 10. So not an easy path for the Wildcats. They know what's in front of them. And again, as you said, they're in Division II Region 5, so it comes up to a tough matchup right away if they sneak in.
Meanwhile, the other side of the field, the home side, the Hilltoppers, they need these playoff points. They need another Mayfield win because they're looking to somehow get out of that proverbial, what they're at least slotted to be right now. It's going to be that 8th or 9th hole.
Yeah, when you look at the Hilltoppers, where they are at, the Kenston win would have been big for computer points. They didn't get it, so now they're sitting here, and they got to win out, and then you got to hope some things happen to maybe bump you up. But right now, you're right. It looks like they might be 8 or 9. Of course, 9 would mean not having a playoff home game at all, but you got to play the games and see what's going to happen.
Kickoff, it was initially muffed, then picked up by one of the Wildcats. That was J.D. Sega. He scooped it up just in the nick of time, and now all these flags coming out. Wow, what a way to start things here at Chardon Memorial.
Yeah, we'll throw a wild start here. And we'll wait and see what the officials decide. They're conferencing. They're all up in a huddle.
This could be offsetting. No, it's not. Going to be a personal foul against the Hilltoppers, so move Mayfield up 15, and that is not how you want to start this game.
No, and again, not exactly sure what it was down there that led to that. But yeah, instead of Mayfield first drive from the 20, Mayfield will be first drive from the 35 here.
So Wildcats will come out on offense. From the gun, it's A.J. Rogers Jr. He has 3 running backs with him and a split end out to the right side. Man in motion, they will hand it off up the middle. The second man through, who plows his way up to about the 37-yard line, maybe the 38. So nice first run by the Wildcats.
Yeah, they had a couple of backs back there. Take your pick, and he goes to the second man through, picked up 3 yards.
It was Ben Court, number 25. So Rogers, senior, 6'2", 195. He lines up with Eddie Sanders to his left, Court to his right. Now 2 receivers right side. Looking to throw. Into the hands and diving ahead is Court, close to that first down marker.
Yeah, right now they had 2 guys crossing on that slant out there. The deep man took the linebackers with him, opening it up to the short pass there, which got out to Max Thurman to make the catch, and that sets up 3rd and short for the Wildcats, not quite to a first down.
Well, we've seen this Hilltopper pass defense at times be a little bit vulnerable this year. They're looking to buckle things down tonight. Rogers again under center. Will hand it off. Court battling for yardage. He got close. No, they're going to say he lost maybe about a couple feet.
Yeah, the Hilltoppers pulled him back. If he got back to the line of scrimmage, then he was fortunate. That was some Chardon football right there on defense. They're not just going to let a team come up on 3rd and short and run it up the middle on them for a first down, and they were ready, got that stop. And we'll see how aggressive Mayfield is going to be here. You kind of, if you're Mayfield, in that old cliche, you kind of come in here playing house money. You kind of get to just go for it here, and that's exactly what they're doing on their first drive. At least they're going to line up for it.
Ross Banderius keeping the offense out on the field. It is 4th down and 2 from their own 43-yard line. Man going in motion. They're going to snap it. They fake the handoff, looking to throw. Ball tipped, and it is caught. First down. Wildcats near midfield. Ball was caught by J.D. Sega.
Yeah, off a tip. That just came right into his hands, and it moves the chains. And yeah, I mean, the ball was still tipped, but the tip kind of popped it up, but kept the direction, and it fell right into the hands there of JD. And so it's a first down for Mayfield.
We'll get you the Chardon defensive starters after this. Rogers will hand it off. Court moving straight ahead, man. And he picked up some good yardage there eventually.
Have to give credit to his offensive line opening that up for him.
Yeah, and he ran just straight ahead into Gavin Robleski. So Robleski made the stop, and it's going to be 2nd down and 5. Wildcats starting to get something going here. Rogers again from the gun. Will look to the sidelines. And he will hand it off to Court, breaking a couple tackles, moving right side, and boy, he gained about 3-4 yards.
That running game is going for them right now, and Court's got it down. He moves off to the right, gets you to a 3rd down and 2. And when we were talking to Coach Bandera before the game, he was hopeful they could find a way to get the running game moving, because he felt like it could open up some opportunities they thought they had in the passing game. Well, the running game on this first drive does seem to be moving.
Well, indeed it does. It is 3rd and 2 from the 44. Two-down territory for the Wildcats, and Hilltopper territory. They hand it off Court, up the gut, no. I saw Jaden Booth come in to help make that stop. The defensive line, a good job.
Yeah, Jaden Booth, such a big part from the linebacking core of this Hilltopper defense. Said his name numerous times a week ago. He gets in there, makes the big stop again on 3rd down. So here's a 4th down play, and the Wildcats sort of got a little lucky on the first one. The ball was tipped, and it still found the receiver. You know they're going for it again, so we'll see what they draw up here.
Rogers had a quick chat on the sideline. Now he gets his team out of the huddle. They got to hurry, though. Play clock is winding down. They get the snap off. He's looking to throw left side. It is caught, and that's a first down and more with a block. Going down the left side of the field is Lance Reed, who picks up the first down.
Yeah, just curling back in there was Reed. He made the catch. He had another receiver behind him, Max Thurman, kind of similar to what we saw previously on this drive, where they are using Thurman to kind of pull back that defense, open things up close. And so Reed curls back in, and he's got space to make a catch and room for yards after a catch. And Mayfield is all the way down to the Chardon 20 here on the first drive of the game.
Well, let's bring in the Chardon defense up front. Matthew McElroy, Dakota Warren, Logan Webster, and Tyler Knorr. The linebackers, Alexander Ash, Jaden Booth. I believe we'll be seeing some Cal Smith tonight, maybe a little bit of Beckett Dotson as well, but Beckett going to be getting a little bit more on the offensive side of things tonight from what we understand. Rogers looking to throw the ball, going to dump it off. It's a screen near side, and he is met. I think that was Ash that got to him and tackled him for a short gain.
J.D. Dinnan gets brought down there. Short gain of about 3.
Kevin Mannery, Caleb Hewitt, Iker Amaro, guys in the secondary for the Hilltoppers. Rogers going to pass again, flushing out right side, looking to throw, has a man in the end zone, all alone, touchdown Wildcats! I believe that's Jacob Reed, number 3.
Oh, that was just well drawn up. So you have the quarterback rolling to the right. You're getting the defense. You're getting those linebackers moving that direction too. And Reed ran a route that cut back toward the middle where those linebackers and those guys in the secondary had left following the quarterback. And it was just a flick of the arm in there. I mean, wide open look, Matt. No Hilltopper around. Well drawn up play. And so the play that, so you know, you always say the first drive is the one you script out in advance. Coach Bandera and his group does a nice job drawing up that drive, and they score first on the road at Chardon. Tough to do.
Wave that off. Wave that PAT attempt off, beg your pardon. And they'll do it again. Micah Lynn ready to attempt the PAT. Kick is up. It is underway, and it is good. With 6:05 left to go, the Wildcats strike first on their opening drive, and they lead 7-0.
Well, tonight's special cablecast is funded by your cable subscriber franchise fees, and we'd like to again extend thanks to all the GTV funding communities, including those not funding tonight's contest, for their year-round support. They are Chardon Township, Middlefield Village, Munson Township, and partially funded by the City of Chardon. Thanks again for supporting GTV, and thanks to all our viewers for the support. Well, Matt, one of the things before the game that Coach Bandera told us was when his team is at their best, they're controlling the time of possession. They just put up a 6-minute drive to open this game and start the first half. Saw Chardon really get out in front of Willoughby South quickly last week and run away from them. Mayfield wanting to prevent that. 6-minute drive to start things out sure does help.
No, it's a huge statement for the Wildcats, showing they are here to play and they cannot be taken lightly. And now the question is, can the Hilltoppers respond on their opening drive?
I got to come back and go right at it, and so we'll see what the Hilltoppers got. Again, this is the drive that you normally have a little bit more planned out, so we'll see what the Hilltoppers had ready to go. Looks like they're going to have Lance Reed hold this one.
Surprised it's not. No, he's not even kicking off the tee.
No?
So Lynn will kick it off. It's a line drive kick. Scooped up at the 25, 30, 35. Looking for an opening up near the 40, and the Hilltoppers will be pushed back, and now another flag comes out. Kevin Mannery, and boy, they're getting chippy down there again.
Hey, you know, Chardon Mayfield is always a good contest, Matt, and it's a good rivalry in the WRC. As you mentioned at the beginning, they made the short trek. Most of the times it feels like we've been talking about teams making long treks this year, but this is a good rivalry here between these two squads, and you see it there.
Toppers ball 1st and 10 from the 40. Out comes Drayton Goodall, the 5'10", 165-pound junior. Just mean all good. All good, going to hand it off. Caleb Hewitt bouncing around, trying to go left side. No, and he pushed back for a loss. Boy, he got met very quickly by Gavin Hecula.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Wildcats ready for Hewitt on the jet sweep on run number 1, and they just blew that up. Loss of 2. 3 or 4 guys getting in the backfield. It's hard to block all those guys, and Hewitt ends up going down for a loss, so the Hilltoppers go the wrong direction on their first play on offense.
Of note tonight, we're going to be seeing some Beckett Dotson in this game at the halfback position more than normal. So keep that in mind as this game progresses. 2nd and 12, high snap. And Drayton Allgood going to fall on it. A huge loss. Man, it's a problem that has plagued them, Ryan, all year long.
Yeah, we didn't see it much a week ago against South, but certainly in the Kenston game, there were a number of snaps that cost them on drives, and that snap all of a sudden puts you back to 3rd down and 22. And this is a place where the Hilltoppers found themselves in weeks 5 and 6 against Bishop Watterson and Kenston. Not so much last week, but 3rd and long, and this is a 3rd and really long here.
Drayton Allgood going to keep it himself. A little bit of opening, and he just goes down. Did not even get back to the original line of scrimmage. Picked up a little bit of yardage there, but Hilltoppers will be forced to punt.
Well, if you're Coach Bandera and the Wildcats, this game could not be off to a better start. You come up here on the road to Memorial Field, and you march down the field, 6-minute drive, score a touchdown, 2 4th-down conversions along the way. Hilltoppers come out, go 3 and out, and you're getting the ball back. There's a flag. Chardon's going to have to back up again.
Now, legal procedure against the Hilltoppers. Move them back 5 yards, and Ryan, it is a case of self-inflicted wounds.
Lest we forget that opening drive for Mayfield got a 15-yard push at the start from a Hilltopper penalty. Now this drive gets a little push because they push the punt back.
Roboleski high kick, end over end. Fair catch called for and fair catch made at the 45-yard line. So Wildcats will start 5 yards from midfield. And they're looking to now add on to their 7-0 lead.
Yeah, this is a tough place to win, but you get up early on the road against the Hilltoppers, get yourself a couple of score cushion. That would feel really good for the Wildcats. Mayfield's the type of team that can be dangerous, right? They're still a solid unit. They've got a good coaching staff. Now they haven't had the year they wanted, but they know they need 2 wins to get into the playoffs, and they're a group that feels like they can do that and kind of come in here, as we said in first drive, with house money.
They go a little bit of trickeration. The pass is caught near side across midfield out to the 40-yard line. Wow. Didn't expect to see that one coming. Lance Reed eventually caught the pass. There was a handoff. It was pitched back to the QB, and then he found Lance Reed coming along the left side.
Right, they made it look like the reverse, but then the QB got it back, and Reed, who initially handed it back, ends up making the catch. Mayfield on the move here.
Wildcats going to try to take it right side, gain a few yards on that play.
That was Lance Reed, the back coming off the right side, able to pick up 4 or 5. Alexander Ash gets the stop, but still, for Mayfield, every play tonight, for the most part, has been positive yardage.
Well, Ash has been the heart and soul of this defense for a couple years now, continuing to play at that high level. Clock moving, 2:36 to go here in the first. 2nd down and 6 from the Hilltopper 37. Rogers from the gun will send 2 receivers out left, 1 to the right. Looking to throw left side, incomplete. And that'll bring up 3rd down.
A little bit of pressure was coming. He got rid of the football a little quicker than he wanted to, and it was out in front of the route. But that's okay. The Wildcats can waste one there because they're in 4-down territory the way they've played this out so far.
Well, again, as you said earlier, playing with house money. So the Hilltoppers looking to make a stop here on 3rd down and 6 from the 37. Rogers has a man to his right and stopped the timeout called by the Wildcats.
gives us a time to let you know that we are aware there is no video with our live audio. We are working to correct it, but we're glad you can hear us. Now, during this timeout, this will also give us a chance to remind you all that GTV is on Roku and Apple TV. You can also get it on your cell phone. That's right, iPhone or Android. All you have to do is look for the Cablecast app in your store, and you'll have GTV on your phone.
Well, the Hilltoppers looking to get a big stop here on defense. It's 3rd down and 6. So Rogers, empty backfield, 4 receivers near side, under pressure, going to dump it off left side. The ball is caught, but spinning around and gaining a few yards. Wow, it was Max Thurman. Thurman looked like he was going to be stopped for a loss, but just kept moving his feet, kept spinning, and made no gain, a little gain.
Yeah, he avoided going negative yardage, but the Hilltoppers had all kinds of guys over there. They were ready for that play out of the timeout. And yeah, Thurman just did everything he could to get back to the line of scrimmage, just kind of lowering his shoulders and going into guys and pushing them off to get back to that line of scrimmage. Mayfield is 2 for 2 on 4th down so far in this first quarter, Matt. They've got another one here, but this is their longest 4th down of the night.
4th down and 6 for the Wildcats. 3 receivers left, 1 right. 1 running back in the backfield for Rogers. Rogers stepping in the pocket, being under pressure. He's flushing out near side. Rogers looks like he picks up the 1st down as he dives across the 30-yard line. And Rogers, boy, he's playing like his namesake with the Jets.
Well, that's what you do there. You take that drop back, you look up, you've got the pocket collapsing, but you realize that in that time, in that kind of deep coverage the Hilltoppers were in, there's an opening. So you step up in that pocket, get through that defensive line, then there's plenty of space to pick up the 1st down, keep the drive alive. Mayfield 3 for 3 on 4th downs in the first quarter, and we're down to 1:15 left in the quarter. Chardon's only run 3 offensive plays. Mayfield has been in control so far.
1st and 10 now from the Hilltopper 29. Bad snap. Rogers just going to fall on it and cover it up back at the Chardon 43-yard line. And maybe this is the break the Hilltoppers defense needs.
I would say that's really the first tough play of the night for the Mayfield offense. That one gets away from them. It's a bad snap, and this is still a really good Chardon defense. You don't fall behind the chains against them. Mayfield had avoided that, but now, and this one was totally self-inflicted. They have to face a 2nd down and 22 all of a sudden. So yeah, they had some momentum and they were moving, but this might put an end to that. Either way, though, Mayfield's going to be able to run out the first quarter and still be in this drive.
Similar situation what Chardon had on their possession, that 3rd and 22. Granted, this one's 2nd, nonetheless, you know what I mean. Rogers will fake the handoff, steps up in the pocket. Now he's flushed out right side, under pressure. Going to throw it down the sidelines and incomplete as he was hit.
Yeah,
and he is down.
Matthew McElroy was the first guy to get back and provide pressure.
Boy, Rogers, very... Are they going to let him back in the game is the question. He was able to eventually get up, but man, he is looking a bit bruised right now. Finally jogging back to the huddle. Topper faithful making some noise here on 3rd and 22, getting loud at Chardon Memorial. They hand it off. Court, couple breaks, and he gets back near the original line of scrimmage.
Yeah, plenty of room for Court there to make a nice run. Of course, since they were at 3rd down and 22, he picks up 10, and that only brings up about 4th down and 12 as we head to the 2nd quarter.
Well, folks, that will end the first here. It is Mayfield 7, Chardon nothing. We'll pause and take a timeout here on GTV.
The Chardon Hilltopper Gridiron Club, in association with GTV, proudly presents Chardon Hilltopper Varsity Football. Tonight's game is brought to you by the Chardon Gridiron Club, the original Burr Funeral Home and Cremation Service, Chardon Smile Center, Achilles Running Shop, Ashes Mayfield Window Cleaning Company, Best Funeral Homes, The Junction Auto Family, Precision Orthopedics Specialties, Roniak Paving, Remax Traditions, Dan McCaskey and Terry Combs, El Patron Mexican Grill and Cantina, the Chardon Athletic Boosters. Chardon Hilltopper Football is also brought to you by GTV.
Welcome back, everyone. Chardon Memorial, Matt Jaworski, Ryan Radke with you. It is 4th down and 13 for the Wildcats. They're going to punt the football. It's a good punt for Mayfield. It's taken a roll all the way down near the 5-yard line to the 4, and the Hilltoppers will be pinned back deep to start their second drive of this game.
Yeah, second quarter. Let's see what the Hilltoppers can get going. Again, hard to say it any other way. The first quarter went maybe better than you could have anticipated if you were Mayfield. Chardon only gets 3 offensive plays. You dominate time of possession, but that second drive falters out on you. You only get the 1 touchdown. Now, Chardon is pinned back against their own 4. They went backwards. They had the bad snap, the penalty. They can't afford any of that right now, backed up against their own end zone.
Well, Drayton Allgood gets his team lined up. He's going to take the snap, and he's going to go right side. Allgood picks up maybe a yard or 2 on that short first down run.
Decides to go around to the outside there. Able to pick up a couple, so positive yard. Chardon went backwards on the first play of the last drive, so this is actually a pickup of 3. It does give you a little bit of breathing room from the end zone. 2nd down and 7 here, so that is a good run to start this drive.
We'll get you the Hilltoppers starting offensive line after this play. Tight wing T formation for the Hilltoppers. Fake the handoff. The QB keeper, Drayton Allgood going straight ahead again. Pickup of maybe a yard, but not much after that. Boy, this Wildcat defense has been in tune so far to what the Hilltoppers are doing.
Yeah, so the bottom line is when you watch the Hilltoppers on film, you're saying we need to do our best to limit 3 and limit 10 and see who else can come out there and beat us. And we've seen it. Mayfield has been keyed in on Hewitt and Allgood so far, and so far neither one of them has really had that play where they break through yet.
Iker Amaro, Beckett, Dotson, and Drew Platts check into the game for the Hilltoppers. Drayton Allgood going to move a running back to his right. Now he sends Caleb Hewitt in motion and keeps it himself as he barrels ahead near the first down mark, and he picks it up at the 15-yard line. Move the chains.
And there's that big play. You fake the handoff to Caleb, you pull it back. You had the linebackers starting to follow that jet sweep, open things up for a first down run to move the chains.
Now, hopefully that's the momentum now that the Hilltoppers need to get things going here.
Yeah, the defensive stop was step 1. Now the offense putting together a drive, that's step 2. You're still at home. You're only down a score. Take momentum back and start to run with this game. That's what the Hilltoppers are looking to do.
Allgood will hand the ball off. Coming around the left side, Caleb Hewitt, and Caleb knocked out of bounds after a nice gain. Believe that will be enough for a first down, and it is.
Yeah, Caleb picks up about 11 on that run coming to the outside, and so now you've got some things working. Again, the eyes of that defense starting to look around. They think Allgood's going to run it up the middle. This time he hands it off to Hewitt. Hewitt comes to the outside and moves the chains and start to have that defense starting to think a little bit, guessing a bit out there.
Now, Caleb Hewitt entered this game 351 yards of rushing on 55 carries this season. Picked up a few more there. And he's going to get an opportunity to gain a few more yards here. Breaks a tackle, and Caleb Hewitt out near the 35-yard line, close to the first down again.
Yeah, and he makes a good decision on the field there. Initially, he's following his blocker through, and instead he pops out to the outside. He saw something in there. He popped out to the outside. There was plenty of room for him there. He picks up 9 to go for 2nd down and 1. And now, again, second quarter, it's a new quarter, and this Hilltopper offense is out there, and they're really starting to click.
Well, indeed, 3 straight first downs for the Hilltoppers. Iva Chua in as the split end far side. Caleb goes in motion. The handoff to Platts up the middle, and more. Platts on his feet across the 40 to the 45-yard line. The Hilltoppers go to the fullback dive, and it pays off.
Well, and you hadn't done it yet, right? You have been all good in Hewitt, and so now you go on ahead and give them some Drew Platts. We talked about it last week. Each week it seems like Drew Platts is growing more and more. He's only a sophomore, and that's a very important position he's playing down there on the field, but he seems like he's growing more and more into it every week, and that's a great run. You change the pace, you change the eyes on them, you give them something they haven't seen, and you move the chains out to the 45.
Well, for the Hilltoppers, they were initially backed up to their own 4-yard line. They've now gone out to their own 45. First down and 10, Chardon. It's the QB keeper, Allgood. Gets hit hard as he picked up about 3 yards on that run, but springs right back up.
Yeah, the offensive line still gives you enough room to get that positive gain on first down. You're around midfield, so you figure you may be in 4-down territory, depending on how this goes, so 2nd down and 8. But, again, it's a positive gain, and the Hilltoppers avoiding those things on that first drive that were moving them back. They're keeping things going forward right now, and that's a good sign.
Well, you talk about this Hilltopper offense compared right now to weeks 1, 2, 3, if you will, early in the season. Different blocking scheme right now. They will hand it off Caleb Hewitt, and Caleb cannot get away from the defender. Boy, they were not going to let him go that time. In on the stop was Ben Corritt.
Yeah, such a big part of defending against a wing T is not so much having a focus on the players in front of you. You know where the football is, and that time the Wildcats did. They did not bite on the fake. Nobody was really coming at Allgood at all. 5 or 6 Wildcats were all in pursuit of Hewitt. So unfortunately that one goes back. That's a loss of about 5, and now all of a sudden the Hilltoppers on a 3rd and long, 3rd down and 13, and they're probably out of 4-down territory here.
Caleb goes in motion again. Drayton Allgood dropping back to pass, feeling some pressure. He's got to step up. Going to throw back near side. It's caught by Platts. Makes one man miss across the 40, 45, 50. Platts, you're the first down marker. Bulls over a Wildcat. Picks up the first down. Wow!
Alan, we'll wait and see here, as I think that's going to move the chains. Yeah, Mayfield wanted to say there was a fumble at the end of that run and they recovered, but the officials said no. So it's a great play by Platts. He comes back for his quarterback. His quarterback gets in trouble. Pressure is coming at him. He sees Platts there. He's able to drop the ball off to him, and as you said, Platts bowls through somebody at the end to pick up a first down. That's a big play for the sophomore in that situation.
Somewhere Sean Carr is smiling. Man, it's so good to see Platts do that, because it's that fullback position so important here in this wing T offense, and good to see him bowling somebody over. The give, spinning around, gaining some yardages. Beckett Dotson across the 40, out near the 30, maybe the 34, 33.
And we were told pregame Beckett Dotson would get run at that halfback position today. And that's the first time he gets called for the carry there. Of course, when he's been out there, he's been doing blocking, but that time his number gets called to carry the football, and he picks up 8 yards. So Hilltoppers on this drive starting to get some of those other guys, Platts, Dotson, involved.
Hewitt again goes in motion. The handoff is Platts. Platts moving the pile forward. The young sophomore, now he gets some more help from his O-line as they push him across the 30 to the 25. That's Hilltopper football.
Well, and as you said, this is great to see. In that 2-game skid, one of the things that was really missing was that fullback dive. In the past 2 weeks, the fullback dive is back, and all of a sudden, Platts didn't have his number called much, has gotten it called 3 times, and he keeps putting strong runs together like the last couple, and he's going to see that his number getting called more and more often there.
6 minutes remain in this second quarter. 1st and 10 Toppers from the Mayfield 25-yard line. Been a time-consuming, methodical drive. Allgood, the carry. Allgood makes a nice move. A good cut out near the 20 to about the 19 of Mayfield. And the Hilltoppers remain on the warpath.
Yeah, Allgood pulls that one out, rolls right. Again, the defense thinking another dive up that middle is coming, and there was room for Allgood to pick up 6 yards on first down. And Chardon has successfully grabbed momentum back in this game.
Ryan, you look at that first drive. Issues galore for the Hilltoppers. They've settled things down, and this is the Chardon that we saw last week against South.
Yes, it is, and they're moving the football down the field, getting a lot of guys involved, big gains on every play.
All good, looking for some running room coming near side. Not much going on, though. Was stopped near the line by Jack Elliott.
Yeah, Jack Elliott right there. He does not have an offensive position listed on the roster. He's a safety, and he's a good one. That's still enough of a run for a first down, but still an open field tackle that might have stopped the touchdown.
It moves the chains, though. Ball will be placed at the 15-yard line, so first down and 10. Hilltoppers' ability to pick up one more first down if they can't get into the end zone. All good under center. The give, Platts moving forward. He fumbles the football. It's a loose ball. Who has it? There's a big old pile. And it's the Wildcats who recover down near the 2.
Well, such a great drive for the sophomore, and then at the end of it he's headed toward the goal line. The football comes out on him, and it's a turnover. Now Mayfield is still deep in their own territory. You know that Hilltopper defense coming out thinking, let's get a safety here. It looks like Mayfield's going to be starting this drive, I think probably on their own 1. So, you know, that's what that defense is coming out here thinking, but that's a shame as Chardon takes over 7 minutes off the board on that drive from their own 4, and it does not result in points. A 90-yard drive, and they don't score on it. Mayfield comes back out here. Let's see if the defense can make a big play here and get that Chardon offense right back out on the field.
Well, you expect to see maybe A.J. Rogers or Ben Corrett here just try to move that line straight ahead. They're looking to throw the football down the field, and it's incomplete. Nobody home on that play. They were looking to get it out to Ryan Epich, but Epich just could not. Man, he was about 20 yards short of that one.
Well, the QB took a big hit on that throw, and that didn't allow him to get anything on it. Give him credit for hanging in there and trying to make the throw, but the big hit there caused that throw to be off the mark, so good work by the Hilltoppers up front to disrupt that pass play. Now, here's the thing. You run the deep pass on first down and 10. Now you're second down and 10 on your own 1. So for Mayfield, starting this drive in a tough spot, going with that play first.
Rogers will hand it off to Toppers. They got a safety, I think.
No.
Nope.
They're giving him forward progress. Forward progress, a loss of half a yard. So it's going to be 3rd and 10.5 from the half-yard line now.
I didn't think Lance Reed got out of the end zone, but officials saw it differently.
You and I, where we're at here, we have such a hard angle on that end zone. It's really tough to tell.
It's 3rd down and 10. And I'm going to throw this out there, too. Mayfield is in a bad spot, period, because if they can't get anything going on this play right here, man, they are backed up, and A.J. Rogers, who's the punter, will have very little room to punt the football. And now, Mayfield forced to burn a timeout.
Yeah, they're going to need to talk about what they run here, because you're right. Are you going for the first down, or are you just going to try to create some space? The Hilltoppers have had a couple of blocked punts so far this year, so you've got to decide what you're trying to do on this play.
Ryan, something else to keep in mind, too, folks. Clock right now reading 3:57 to play here in the second quarter. Toppers do get the ball back to start the 3rd.
And that is an important thing to keep in mind. Also, you should keep in mind that you could follow GTV on X for all the latest replay news and other important information. Just follow GTV on X, formerly Twitter, and you'll have all the latest.
Ryan, one of the things that we talked with the coaching staff about was the health of the team at this point in time of the year here at Week 8. And Hilltoppers were dealt a big blow last week with the loss of Chad Prince, broken leg. Unfortunately, the young man out for the rest of the year. So they're doing their best to try to do next man up, but they need a big stop here. 3rd and 10. Rogers looking to throw it over the middle. Incomplete. Boy, he had his choice of receivers, but it was Max Thurman who nearly got a hand on it, but just could not bring it in.
Yeah, missed Lance Reed, still had Max Thurman, couldn't get it to either one of them. And they go 3 and out, and here's the danger we were talking about, man. That's why it was interesting to take that deep shot on 1st down at your own 1. But now you go nowhere, and you got a short field to punt with. It's a Hilltopper defense that has blocked 2 punts on the season. This is a tough spot to punt from.
A.J. Brown standing just a step inside. Gets the punt, and he gets it off. Caleb will pick up the bounce at the 30. Right side 25, 20, 15, 10, and Caleb Hewitt going to take it down near the 10-yard line.
Well, the defense and Caleb Hewitt do their job there. They get the 3 and out. Mayfield doesn't gain a yard. Hewitt returns the football inside the 10, and Chardon's offense has a chance to go out there, run a couple plays, get in the end zone, and tie this thing up before we head to halftime. And as you mentioned, Chardon has the football to start the second half.
So 23-yard kick return down to the 7. Punt return down to the 7. All good. Going to give it to Caleb Hewitt. Tries to cut the corner. Flag coming out. That's not in a good spot.
No, where that flag flies in, your at least initial reaction is this is going to be holding on Chardon. Again, that's to the furthest corner of the field from us, so it's sometimes hard for us to see everything happening down there, but you'd think where that flag is thrown, this is going against Chardon.
And it is indeed, it is a holding call on the offense. And boy, not what you want to do.
These are the kind of penalties that just, they just kill your drive. And so now instead of knocking on the goal line, you're 1st and goal back at the 17.
Toppers, 3 penalties, 30 yards in this game. So it'll be 1st and goal from the 17. All good. Going to keep it himself, looking for a little bit of running room. And Drayton Allgood up near the 12, but another flag, and it's going against the Hilltoppers again. Another hold.
Yeah, so now they're 1st and goal at the 27.
Chardon right now holding themselves out of field goal range at this point.
Yeah, that second drive of the game, the offense gets out there, moves the ball all the way down the field going forward the whole time. An unfortunate fumble at the end. This 3rd drive looks a lot like that 1st drive, going the wrong direction.
First and goal from the 25. Allgood has a man coming, looking to throw left side. It's caught! And the Hilltoppers will gain a good chunk of yardage back. Was Caleb Hewitt who made the reception.
Yeah, able to do the good news for the Hilltoppers is even though you take those 2 10-yard penalties, they kept you on 1st down, so you still had 4 downs, and you come up, pick up 13, 2nd down and 14, got the ball to a playmaker in Caleb Hewitt, and he delivered. And so now it's 2nd and goal from the 14.
Hewitt, Platts, and Dotson are your running backs. Allgood will fake the handoff, looking to throw. Under pressure, and Allgood going to be dropped for a sack. He really had nowhere to go, and it was Sincere Moore who made the tackle for who got the sack, I should say.
Yeah, the defensive end able to get in there from the outside and get to Allgood. Allgood Looks like he maybe got back pretty close to the line. They're sitting at 3rd and 17, so it's a loss of 3.
You know, the big question right now was, what does Chardon do? Do you just try to make this a 2-down situation, or do you try to put yourself in maybe a better spot for a field goal? We'll find out. Toppers, it's given to Caleb, trying to make a cut right side. Caleb bouncing around the right side, picks up some yardage down inside the 10.
Now they give it to him, and he gets down inside the 10-yard line. So Chardon's at 4th and goal at the 9, and you're right, it's decision time. If you're the Hilltoppers, you do get the football to start the second half. So if you kick a field goal here, keep Mayfield off the board, you have a chance to come out on your first drive of the second half and take the lead, and the Hilltoppers are, in fact, sending out the field goal unit here.
So Sam Sasrich out to attempt the field goal.
It'll be a 24-yarder.
Kick is down, it is underway, and it is good. So with $1:15 left to play here in the second quarter, Sasrich with the 24-yard field goal, and the Toppers now trail 7-3.
Well, GTV has an email service that will send you GTV replay information. You just have to go to our website, www.geaugatv.org, and sign up. When we set our schedule, you'll be the first to know. It's easy and informative, so sign up now.
Well, Ryan, it wasn't the drive that the Hilltoppers wanted, but at least it got them some points on the board.
Yeah, it gets you points on the board. There's only 1:15 left. So keep Mayfield from making a big play here. You'll come out with the football to start the second half, put a drive together, score a touchdown, and you have the lead. You know, Mayfield really had a really good first quarter in this game, but they haven't done much since. So if you're Chardon, you get into the locker room, come out, put a drive together, take the lead, take control of this game, and ride it out from there in the second half.
52-0 win, and now a close one for the Hilltoppers in this one. And maybe it's appropriate. It is senior night. Given the faithful that come out here on this Thursday night, something to talk about the rest of the week. Sasrich's kick will head. Did it get into the end zone? No, just short.
So that will put the penalty out there. That flag will be for the kick going out of bounds. Mayfield will be out to the 35 to start this drive.
You know, we've seen the Wildcats try to make some big pass plays when they were down in the shadow of their goal line. Maybe we'll see something here with $1:15 to go. Really, they have nothing to lose at this point.
No, and they have taken some chances in this game. Kind of what we expected from the outset.
Empty backfield. Rogers, he's picked off! Beckett Dotson left over a man, made the interception. Boy, that's huge.
That's a huge play, and now the Hilltoppers in Mayfield territory. We're talking like, you know, take the lead in the second half. They have a chance to maybe go for it here to end the first half. Dotson goes up there and makes a play. You had the quarterback stepping back. There was nothing open downfield. He was trying to just dump it off to his emergency option, but that wasn't open either, and Dotson, quite the vertical leap there for Beckett Dotson, able to go up there and grab that one.
Hilltoppers do have all 3 timeouts, so that goes in their favor. It is first down and 10 from the 32-yard line. So 32 yards away from pay dirt. 1:10 left to go. 2 receivers set. They fake the handoff. All good. Looking to throw, puts it up toward the end zone, looking for Caleb Hewitt. Comes back to it. Did he hang on? No. He wanted PI, but officials not throwing the flag, and it will be 2nd down and 10.
And that was very close. This game, you feel it swinging back in Chardon's way, and they almost fully took it there. But, again, that's the end zone. That's a little bit hard for us down there. Did Hewitt drop it? Did he never really have control? Who knows? It gets called incomplete. I think you're right, though. I think he got up looking for a PI that he did not get.
Well, Hilltoppers, that does stop the clock with 1:02 left to go. Certainly 4-down territory right now.
They have all 3 timeouts left, so they have options.
Drayton all good. Flushing out near side, looking to throw again. Going to put it toward the end zone. Has a man. It's touchdown! Hilltoppers! Beckett Dodson! The 32-yard reception!
And what a play that was. You get the ball to Beckett Dobson. He's open down there in the corner, right? You're thinking if it's a deep throw again, Mayfield is queuing up on Caleb Hewitt. So they go to Beckett Dodson instead, and Dodson, who's getting some run on the little bit more run on the offensive side than we've seen the past few weeks, gets his number called right there, and the Toppers take advantage of the interception by Beckett Dodson and finish off on the other end of the Beckett Dodson touchdown reception to take the lead, and Chardon is in control of this game, headed to the locker room at halftime.
Not that I'm saying this, but I'm saying it. We kind of did talk to him last week after the game.
It was all Matt.
No. Flag on that PAT attempt. Officials waving it off.
And we'll see.
So the Hilltoppers coming off the field.
PAT was signaled as good. We still haven't gotten a call on the penalty, but it must be against Mayfield.
Indeed it is.
So
I think, well, hold on. We're about to see the official call now. Personal foul against the Wildcats.
Yep.
So the PAT is good with 55 seconds left to play. It's Hilltoppers 10 and Mayfield 7.
Well, don't forget, birthdays, anniversaries, and other special occasions can be made even more special through GTV. Just send that terrific picture or pictures to us, and we'll help highlight the event. Please enclose a self-addressed stamp envelope. Once again, our address is GTV. P.O. Box 336, Chardon, Ohio 44024, or email us that beautiful picture at geogatv@windstream.net.
Chardon will get the kickoff from the Mayfield 45-yard line. And maybe, just maybe, we haven't seen them do it often this year, but this might be a really good opportunity for a short kick, see if they can recover it and get something else on the board prior to halftime.
Yeah, we'll see what they're thinking, but the end of, we talked about the first quarter couldn't have gone any better for Mayfield. The end of this half couldn't have gone any better for Chardon. You get a field goal to get on the board after a big punt return after the defense had a 3-and-out. You get the interception to get the offense back out there, and despite going backwards to start the drive, they still score. And all of a sudden you look up, you're up 10-7.
Ryan, I don't think the Wildcats have had a yard of offense this quarter. That kick will go into and out of the end zone.
They have not. Much like Chardon in the first quarter, Mayfield only had 4 offensive plays in this quarter. They had the 3-and-out down at the goal line, and on their first play of the second drive of this quarter, they threw an interception. They have not been out there much, and again, this is a Hilltopper team that can wear out your defense if they're out there too much, and the Mayfield defense basically been on the field the entire second quarter.
Well, at this juncture, I think if you're the Wildcats, after what developed the last time around, you just take a knee here and go into the locker room. I guess technically they had to take 2 knees based on the time left on the clock, but They instead will not. They will come out 3 receivers set, 2 to the far side, 1 to the near side. They'll hand it off. Not much going there. Hilltopper defense buckling down, gives up maybe a yard or 2 on that run.
Yeah, Mayfield wasn't swinging for the fences, but they're also just not going to take a knee and kneel it out. They ran a play, picked up a couple of yards on a safe run.
Was Jack Pinzoni, who had his first carry of the game. Timeout, Hilltoppers.
So the Hilltoppers do want the football back. They want to see if they could maybe put a little more on before we get to the end of this half.
So the Mayfield Wildcats, who on that opening quarter really could do no wrong offensively, in a position where they haven't done much right in the second half. And you got to think that right now Chardon has them right where they want them defensively.
Yeah, this is for Mayfield where you come out, you had a good game plan, you got good coaches, so they know, and you came out and you executed in the first quarter, but Chardon's better than Mayfield, and as this game goes on, that is starting to win the day.
They will hand it off and run it straight up the middle. Gain of about 4 or 5. Toppers will call a timeout with 44 seconds left to go.
Yeah, so the Hilltoppers definitely want this football back. They want one more chance.
That will make it 3rd down in short. Ash with the tackle.
Nice play there by Ash. Pickup of about 4, and
you look at Alexander Ash and all that he brings to the team. Alexander, 47 tackles on the season, 22 solo, 7 tackles for losses. He's going to make some college very happy. 3rd and 4 for the Wildcats. They hand it off, coming around the left side, and they will get the first down across the 35 out near the 38-yard line.
Yeah, nice job there by Lance Reed. Makes the big play, moves the chains, and kind of ends the shot of Chardon getting the football back here before we go to the locker room. Nice play on 3rd down there for Mayfield. And the Mayfield didn't even huddle up before that one. A timeout was called, and the Wildcats didn't go over.
Well, A.J. Rogers breaks the huddle. 2 receivers right side, 1 left. Court, one of his 2 running backs, he hands it off to Court, who meets a couple of Hilltoppers, and that will likely do it.
Hilltoppers do a nice job. They're right there to make the big stop. Dakota Warren right there, the senior, with the big play on senior night.
Now, he was the first one. Ash got to him second.
There's only 10 seconds left. Mayfield is just kind of letting this run out.
And they've had enough. Well, folks, that will end the first half. The Hilltoppers with a flurry of points on the board in a span of, what was that, about 20 seconds.
Yeah, 10 points in a 20-second span with less than 2 minutes left in the half.
Oh, we'll certainly take it. We head to halftime with the score, Chardon 10 and Mayfield 7. Invite you to stick around because it's the marching bands next here on GTV.
The Chardon Hilltopper Gridiron Club, in association with GTV, proudly presents Chardon Hilltopper Varsity Football. Tonight's game is brought to you by the Chardon Gridiron Club, the original Burr Funeral Home and Cremation Service, Chardon Smile Center, Achilles Running Shop, Ash's Mayfield Window Cleaning Company, Best Funeral Homes, the Junction Auto Family, Precision Orthopedics Specialties, Roniak Paving, Remax Traditions, Dan McCaskey and Terry Combs, El Patron Mexican Grill and Cantina, the Chardon Athletic Boosters. Chardon Hilltopper Football is also brought to you by GTV.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. senior Amanda Akbar. This song was released by Motown in 1969 and became the first hit for the supergroup, the Jackson 5. Oh, baby, give me one more chance. Here is I Want You Back.
Chardon Hilltopper Gridiron Club, in association with GTV, proudly presents Chardon Hilltopper Varsity Football. Tonight's game is brought to you by the Chardon Gridiron Club, the original Burr Funeral Home and Cremation Service, Chardon Smile Center, Achilles Running Shop, Ashes Mayfield Window Cleaning Company, Best Funeral Homes, the Junction Auto Family, Precision Orthopedics Specialties, Roniak Paving, Remax Traditions, Dan McCaskey and Terry Combs, El Patron Mexican Grill and Cantina, the Chardon Athletic Boosters. Chardon Hilltopper Football is also brought to you by GTV.
Welcome back, everyone. Chardon Memorial, Matt Jaworski, Ryan Radke with you as we get you set here for the second half of action. Third quarter about to begin as the Hilltoppers up by a field goal, 10-7 in this one. Hilltoppers will take the short kick near the 25, bring it out to near the 36-yard line, and that's where the offense will begin. Ryan tailed 2 quarters in that first half. It was all Mayfield in quarter 1, but all Chardon in quarter number 2.
Yeah, we kind of talked about it. Chardon started the second quarter with the football and said they have a chance to flip this script, and that's what they did. Chardon did have the turnover in that second quarter, but overall, it was their quarter. They scored 10 points. Mayfield only ran 4 plays on offense in that entire second quarter. One of them, Mayfield, had a turnover. And so Chardon definitely retook control of the game. They're up 10-7 with a chance to score again now on the first drive of this second half.
Hilltoppers will hand the ball off, and cutting across the 40 out near the 42-yard line is Caleb Hewitt.
And they go to Hewitt on the first play of the second half. He picks up 4 yards, bringing him through the middle there.
Well, you look at that third quarter, and that second quarter, the end of it in particular. It was Beckett Dotson who had the interception, and then Beckett Dotson who had the 32-yard touchdown reception.
Like 2 plays later.
Funny how that works sometimes.
Good 3-play run for Mr. Dotson.
It's just like you're a baseball player, you get put in the game, you haven't played all game, and they hit it right at you the first play defensively. Toppers to Hewitt again, trying to turn the corner, had no help. Strung out as he picks up maybe a yard to bring up third down.
Now they're marking him. They're marking him, just about 1. So third down and 5, and we'll see. I mean, obviously, as we're talking about for the Hilltoppers, a chance to really take control of the game here. This is as big a drive for the Wildcats. They're still only down a field goal. I think that they would have taken that coming into play, that being where they were at halftime. They get a stop here, get the ball back, maybe get things moving back in their direction. So this is a big play in this second half, even though it's early.
3rd and 5 from the Hilltopper 43. They give the ball to Drew Platts, lowers his shoulders, and Platts out close to that first down marker, but he may be a yard short. It'll all depend on the spot.
They're marking him at the 49. He needed the 48, so I think they're going to move him here. And that'll bring up a first down for the Hilltoppers. So they go back to the fullback dive with Drew Platts there, and he's able to move the chains.
Well, we mentioned this in the first half, but Drew has come on strong really now the last game and a half or so.
Yeah, and he recovers nicely. That was his first carry since the fumble, and he does a nice job, picks up the first down, so good to see that quick recovery on his next opportunity.
Drayton Allgood going to keep it himself, tries to run straight ahead, picks up a gain of about 2 across the 49 out to about, the other 49.
Yeah, a couple of yards there on first down. Spotted all the way out to the 48. That's a nice spot for him. Pick up a 3.
Take that.
The old 3 yards at a time. Keep the ball moving. That's a good first down run. 132 yards of offense for these Hilltoppers. 95 for Mayfield, but that's how many they had in the first quarter.
Now from the gun, Allgood. 2nd and 7 from the 48. He will give it to Caleb Hewitt, who is met at the midfield and then pushed back. Boy, he has had a rough go of it around the edge. Gavin Hekela makes the stop, and there's just been no help on those sweeps.
Yeah, That was what it was there. Hewitt was stringing that out. He was looking for where he could make the turn, and there was just nowhere for him to make the turn. And the defense is eventually able to get back there and make the stop. Yeah, just not a whole lot of blocking out in front of that one. So the Hilltoppers, they lose about 6. And they're facing a 3rd down and long here to try to keep this drive going.
Caleb may be one of the fastest kids to ever run at Chardon, but
you got to give him space to run in.
Yeah, and you got to have him some holes, too. Otherwise, you just go nowhere, no matter how fast you are. 3rd and 13, stoppage of play, timeout, Hilltoppers.
Yeah, Hilltoppers, I'm not sure exactly what happened there, but they decided to take an early timeout in the second half, and this gives us a chance to remind you that tonight's special cablecast is funded by your cable subscriber franchise fees, and we'd like to again extend thanks to all the GTV funding communities, including those not funding tonight's contest for their year-round support. They are Chardon Township, Middlefield Village, Munson Township, and partially funded by the city of Chardon. Thanks again for supporting GTV, and thanks to all our viewers for the support.
Appreciate you being a part of this one, folks. Thursday night football here as the Hilltoppers play the last home game of the regular season. It is senior night here. Hilltoppers looking to defend the hill one final time. Two 2-1 so far at home this season. It's 3rd down and 13 from their 46. Drayton Allgood looking for a run. No, instead, he gets brought down near the 45-yard line by J.D. Sega.
Good job by the Wildcats there. They don't let Hewitt or Allgood beat them. They end up sending them backwards. So now it's 4th down, and the Hilltoppers will have to punt. So Chardon does not score on that opening drive, and Mayfield will get the football back.
Gavin Roboleski out to punt. High punt. He's taken down, but flags come flying.
It was before he was taken down. Hilltoppers have an illegal procedure going against him.
Even though they're going to lose 5 yards on that play, I think that penalty benefits them, considering the breakdown in protection right there for Gavin.
Yeah. That'll work out, because that was not a very good punt, and again, it's a result of that breakdown in protection, so now you have a chance to reset it and get a good punt off here.
End over end high kick will bounce the Hilltoppers' way as it crosses the 30 to the 20 and comes to a stop somewhere before the 16-yard line.
That worked out well, because that one, the way it bounced, it did not bounce to the right. It was close to the sideline but never crossed it. Instead, rolls down to, looks like they're going to spot it at the 19 to start this drive for the Wildcats. So, Mayfield wants to get some momentum going. They're facing a long field, but again, only 4 plays on offense in the second quarter, and they could get nothing going against this Hilltopper defense.
Now, Chardon would be fine at this stage if this second half just results in a defensive slugfest with no other points on the scoreboard, but Wildcats would love to score a touchdown here and take the lead. A.J. Rogers fakes the handoff, stepping up in the pocket, a little better running room, 20, and slides right side. Flags come out. He lost his helmet on the slide.
That's going to be a tough call. This is probably going to end up going against the Hilltoppers, but he was in.
It was a late slide.
It was a late slide. I know he was on the ground, but I also don't know how, if you're a defender, you just stop on a dime. I think that was a bang-bang play. They're discussing it. I hope they wave it off, because I just think you can't. I just think you can't throw that on that slide. He gave himself up way too late.
Unless they say it was because of contact with the helmet, maybe?
Well, it's a personal foul against Chardon. They're going to call it again. I think the fans are going to be unhappy, and I think I'm going to be on their side. I think that's a tough one to call there.
Now, because it was a penalty, A.J. Rogers is allowed to stay in the game despite the fact the helmet coming off. First down and 10 Wildcats now from the Topper 38.
That's now 6 penalties for 60 yards against Chardon. Mayfield has not been flagged.
They hand it off across the 40 to the 45-yard line. And Ben Corritt with another nice run. He had a few nice runs in that first quarter.
I was going to say, Mayfield was a team coming in that they kind of went running back by committee, but Ben Corritt has had it tonight, and they've been going to him, and he's been picking up some nice gains. You kind of look at this, come in and saw this running group trying to go against this Hilltopper defense, but they've come out and played well, and it's been Corritt with a number of nice gains, and that's 6 yards on first down against a very good run defense.
Wildcats 2nd down and 4 from the Hilltopper 44-yard line. 1 receiver on each side, 3 running backs. They'll fake the handoff, and now whistles and flags galore.
I think we're going to have an encroachment against the Hilltoppers here, and we do. So that'll give Mayfield a first down.
So now
it was on the far side from us.
So now 7 penalties for 65 yards.
And again, Mayfield still has not been flagged, and one of the keys, if you're Mayfield, if you're going to come in here and you're going to hang with Chardon in Chardon, is going to be to play a clean game. And on the penalty front, the Wildcats have done that. Only mistake they made really was throwing an interception. That's how Chardon scored the touchdown that gave them a lead.
Take the handoff to Court, ball over the middle. It's caught and then stopped right at the 40-yard line. Good reception by Lance Reed to move well, at least this should be moving the chains.
Well, he's not.
No, they're going to mark him a half-yard short.
Yeah, but he hangs in there and makes a catch. Chardon had 2 defenders there, and he took a pretty big hit and held on to that football. Yeah, 2nd down and 1 for Mayfield.
Well, he found a nice spot in the zone over the middle, and they hit him in stride. Mayfield, that first drive of theirs was a really nice mix of the run and pass, keeping Chardon off balance. And more flags.
Flags come flying, and that's going to be the first penalty against the Wildcats tonight. It'll get what they call a Bronx cheer for the officials from the faithful here at Chardon Memorial. But that illegal procedure will be the first penalty against Mayfield and push them back to a 2nd down and 6.
Now Hilltopper's defense will gladly take that penalty, give them a little bit more breathing room here. Jacob Reed, wide receiver out left. 2 receivers near side. It's Court in the backfield. Pressure, and Rogers is sacked! Jaden Booth got him!
We've talked about all year long what a big player Jake Booth is on that defense for the Hilltoppers, and he makes a big play again. He gets into that backfield, makes the huge stop, and Mayfield takes a big loss, so that sack pushes them all the way back from 3rd down and 12, so the Wildcats go from 2nd and 1 to a illegal procedure followed by a sack, and now they're at 3rd down and 12 from their own 47.
Well, for Jaden Booth, his 2nd sack of the season, couldn't have come at a better time. And are they going to make Rogers exit the game?
I think he was arguing something.
Okay.
I don't really know.
It was a long discussion.
It was.
Chardon Memorial getting loud. 3rd and 12 from their own 47. Wildcats. 4 receivers set, ball thrown over the middle, incomplete, was out in front of his intended receiver, Lance Reed, and it's now 4th down. And you got to wonder if this is going to be a punting situation.
Rogers threw that ball a little early. He had a pocket, but he let go of that football too early, and Reed was not there yet, and that ball falls incomplete.
Well, A.J. Rogers, if you look at the body language right now, he is certainly in a little bit of pain.
He's taken a couple of big hits tonight. He stayed in there. The Wildcats certainly need him out there.
Low kick. And that will head down the sideline and out of play. Couldn't tell where it went out, but regardless, the Hilltoppers will get the ball back here with 4:44 to play in the third quarter, up 10-3.
Yeah, 10-7 is the score. 3-point lead for the Hilltoppers. And yeah, I've been there. You got caught between, if I'm going to say 3-point lead or say the score, and you went with the score-ish lead. So
well,
yeah,
look,
I've been there before.
Never been known for math. Y'all know that. Ryan, the longer the Wildcats stay in this game, the better it is for them. Toppers need to get something going here to start to try to put them away.
Again, the defense did their job. Now let's see what the offense has.
Toppers will go back to the ground, and it's Drayton Allgood running it straight ahead, very close to the first down. Going to be an interesting spot, and he gets just enough out to the 35-yard line.
Yeah, that's a good way to start a drive. You got Allgood going up the middle, plenty of room for him to run through and able to move those chains.
Mayfield making an adjustment there defensively. Toppers get set, and it's all good again. Makes a cut on his feet across the 40, the 50. 2 men to beat him. Trying to make another cut. And Allgood brought down inside the 40-yard line near the 38. What a run by Drayton.
Yeah, huge run there by Allgood. He fakes the sweep to Hewitt. As we have seen, the linebackers really cheating on that sweep, trying not to give Hewitt anywhere to turn, so that opens some things up. Allgood keeps it, and he just cuts to his right and finds plenty of open space to run for the first down.
Well, we saw the Barry Sanders-esque run last game against South where he put on the brakes, running one way, reversed field, and got a huge gain. Nearly did it there that time as well. Handoff right side, and Caleb Hewitt down the sidelines to the 5. Touchdown, Toppers!
Well, everything worked on that drive, didn't it? You get a couple of runs from Allgood. So now when you hand the ball off to Hewitt to sweep out, he does. He gets behind his lead blocker, Platts, and he runs down that sideline to get into the end zone for a touchdown. And, of course, Caleb Hewitt, we actually talked about on the last drive how fast he is, but he needs space. He got some space that time, and he took off down the sideline and was into the end zone for a touchdown. So took a little longer out of the locker room than we thought, but the Hilltoppers do score next, and they have a 2-possession lead.
Well, Toppers finally a little bit of breathing room here on senior night. And now Sam Saucerich, who has only missed on one PAT attempt this year, out to kick another one. Ball is up, and it is good with 3:30 to go. Chardon now leading this one 17-7.
Well, hey, everyone, make sure you check out those cool new Topper Cups at the After Prom concession stand, courtesy of Component Repair Technologies. They're hiring, by the way, but the cups look really cool. So some really cool Topper Cups at the After Prom concession stand. Again, those are courtesy of Component Repair Technologies. Hey, Matt, we also want to send a shout-out to Lillian Graw, a big Hilltopper fan, and she's looking forward to watching her granddaughter Cassidy on the basketball court this winter, which is only right around the corner, believe it or not.
Practice will be starting soon. It'll be good to get in the gym after the football season's over and start calling some hoops. You know,
yeah, it's the first See Our Breath night of the season, so you know winter is getting close.
Yeah, when you see the Carhartts come out here in Chardon.
I see you've got yours ready to go.
And I'm not the only one.
I need to get myself one of those.
They're nice. Although, your leather jacket's very nice as well.
It is a very nice jacket. Yeah.
Well, the 38-yard Caleb Hewitt touchdown run and the ensuing PAT made it 17-7. Toppers now set to kick off here with 3:30 to go in the third. Kickoff will take a couple bounces and go into the end zone for the touchback. Well, we've been waiting for the big Caleb Hewitt run. We finally saw it there, Ryan. And now, maybe this is the momentum that the Hilltoppers need to start to put this one away.
You know, the Wildcats have done a good job. You could tell their game plan coming in was don't let 10-3 beat us, but those two guys are really good. You can't stop them forever, and that time, All Good had two big runs setting up the touchdown by Hewitt, and they both got free and really moved the ball on the Wildcats and got into the end zone for a touchdown.
Mayfield going to throw the ball right side. It is caught out near the 25, and being spun around was Jacob Reed. He hangs on to it and gets 6 yards on that reception.
Yeah, I mean, it's a nice play on first down. He's able to make a nice catch, as you say, spin out of a tackle to get a couple of extra yards, and so you use a pass play to pick up 6 yards on first down. You'll certainly take that if you're Mayfield, getting out to 2nd and 4.
Now the officials will actually mark the ball at the 27, so gain of 7 on that pass, and 2nd down and 3 from the Wildcat 27. Here they go, 2 receivers near side, 1 on the far side. 2 backs in the backfield. They hand it off. Corritt up near the first down marker.
I think he's got it. They got him spotted out at the 31. That'll move the chains.
Check that. That wasn't Corritt. That was Eddie Sanders. That's his first carry of the game.
That was a nice run by Sanders, too. He had some good power in that run. Picks up 4 yards, enough to move the chains.
Well, Mayfield had a drive going last possession, but penalties in a Jaden Booth sack snuffed out those hopes.
The penalty, we had just been saying how you pretty much, if you're Mayfield, you pretty much need to play a perfect game to hang around in this one as they had. And then on that last drive, a penalty, they take a sack, and all of a sudden they're punting, and Chardon is scoring.
Over the middle, pass is nearly picked off. Jaden Booth had to turn around. Check that. That was Alexander Ash who had to turn around, got one hand on it, but couldn't get the other on it.
That pass was a lame duck. I think somebody got a hand on it, maybe the defensive end, Logan Webster. I think someone got a hand on it right after it came out, kind of turned it into, one of those lame duck passes, and just not able to get to it was Ash. Again, he had to turn his body around to try to get there.
Well, he's still upset he didn't catch that, but honestly, he was at such an awkward position, I don't think that was really possible to catch.
But give him credit for the big effort.
2nd down and 10 from the 31. Wildcats will hand it off, trying to cut around the corner. Nowhere to go for Michael Palutro, beg your pardon.
And it's Jaden Booth in there again with the big stop.
Well, when you need a tackle for loss, you dial up Jaden Booth, tied with Dakota Warren for tackles for losses, entering this game with 7.5 each.
And Booth with the big play there.
Third and 12 now for the Wildcats from their own 29. Man goes in motion. Rogers looking to throw down the sideline. It is caught, but was he in bounds? I don't see a call.
And they're moving the chains, so they must have called it in. I mean, that was just a great catch on the sideline to be able to keep your feet in bounds and reel that one in with good pass protection there, too. I do believe that was number 3, Jacob Reed, down there on that catch. An incredible catch to pick up the first down and move the chains for Mayfield. After they had fallen back behind the chains, they're able to keep things moving in the right direction.
Official on the far sideline was facing Mayfield and must have said something that told the guys in the change room, didn't make an official direction. Corritt with the run, bounces out right side, crosses midfield, and is about a yard or 2 shy of the first down marker. All of a sudden now, Mayfield's offense picking up some momentum.
Yeah, that was a nice run by Corritt. Pickup of 9, gets out across midfield. And I mean, the Wildcats, they've kept this game close. They've played hard, and this is the first time they've had a couple of close losses this year on their schedule. And so they've in this game as well, and they're not just going to go away. It's as we said at the outset, well-coached program. They're not just going to roll over here. They're going to play you until the end.
Take the hand off the court. Rogers looking to throw. Has running room right side. Going to tuck it. Now he throws it, and it's incomplete as he was hit hard once again. Was it Booth? Yes, it was.
Yeah, Booth in there again. Looking for J.D. Dinnan down the sideline. Just missed him.
You know, you talk about Mayfield's losses, and that big one. They fell to Jackson 21-19 in week 4. And that's a Division I program that right now is 4-3. So it tells you that these Wildcats have the ability to play. Court, right side, running room. He has some open field, and he's brought down around the 35-yard line. Toppers got him from behind.
Yeah, nice run there by Court. He steps into a hole. His offensive line does a nice job to open things up on the right side, and he stepped out there, saw the field, cut to his right, moves the chains. Plenty of yardage after that to get inside the Hilltopper 35-yard line. So Wildcats offense definitely on the move here. And this is a nice response to that Hilltopper score for Mayfield.
Twins right, 2 receivers left. Court, the lone back in the backfield. And Mayfield just may let this go down to 5 on the game clock. And they will let it go. Clock strikes 0, folks. We've completed 3 quarters of play. Hilltoppers up 17-7, but the Wildcats on the march here in the third. We'll take a timeout and come back with more on GTV.
The Chardon Hilltopper Gridiron Club, in association with GTV, proudly presents Chardon Hilltopper Varsity Football. Tonight's game is brought to you by the Chardon Gridiron Club, the original Burr Funeral Home and Cremation Service, Chardon Smile Center, Achilles Running Shop, Ashes Mayfield Window Cleaning Company, Best Funeral Homes, the Junction Auto Family, Precision Orthopedics Specialties, Roniak Paving, Remax Traditions, Dan McCaskey and Terry Combs, El Patron Mexican Grill and Cantina, the Chardon Athletic Boosters. Chardon Hilltopper Football is also brought to you by GTV.
Welcome back, everyone. Chardon Memorial. A.J. Rogers fakes the handoff. Now looking to throw under pressure. Fires it out of bounds. And again, the Hilltopper defense, it was Logan Webster that time, got to Rogers. It has been a rough night for the 6'2", 195-pound senior quarterback for the Wildcats.
Yeah, he's taken some big hits. The Hilltoppers have gotten good pressure on him. And once again, he's trying to get one down there and just can't complete the catch to Reed because, again, he's throwing as he's got pressure coming to him.
You got to give A.J. Rogers credit, though. The young man, tough, because he has been taking a beating tonight.
Well, he's one of the senior leaders on this team and their best offensive player.
Court gets the call, spins around at the line of scrimmage, gains about a yard, maybe 2 on second down.
Good job by the Hilltopper defense there. Kind of pulling their ears back, getting that big stop. So Mayfield tries to go to a pass on first down because you got 3 downs to go. You're in 4-down territory. But the plan is kind of to pick up more than 1 yard on second down. All they picked up was 1 yard. So now they're facing a 3rd down and 9. Do you go back to the ground again and try to see what kind of 4th down you can set up, or is this back to the air for the Wildcats?
Well, looks like it could be to the air unless they're going to spread it out to try to open something up for Court. 3 receivers left, the receiver near side. They will go to the air. Rogers under pressure, and they got him! It is Webster with the sack. Logan Webster, the senior. That's his 2nd sack of the game.
Yeah, they had Webster coming around from the outside as they had Corritt as the extra blocker on the near side to us, and Webster wraps all the way around from the far side, makes the big stop, and now all of a sudden out of 4-down territory, the Wildcats have to punt. The Hilltopper defense makes the big play and stalls out this Mayfield drive.
punt will take a bounce for Mayfield and will go into the end zone, giving chase. Boy, the Wildcats nearly were able to bat that down, touch it up at the 1, but it just got in the end zone before Jacob Reed could get to it.
Yeah, Reed gave his best effort, but he couldn't get there, so the Hilltoppers will come out and have it 1st and 10 at their own 20 after the touchback.
Well, right now, the Hilltoppers can put this one away with a score here. Two receivers, both near side, Amaro and Caleb Hewitt. Two backs, including fullback. Well, they're going to pitch it out. Hewitt has it, guys, a little bit of space, but he's taken out. Give a lot of credit to Lance Reed, the cornerback, came up and made that stop, got him around the ankles and didn't let him go.
Yeah, Reed able to come up and make the stop. The timing gets a little bit off as the throw was a little bit behind Hewitt, so Hewitt had to come back for it. That means the block comes a little early, gives an extra guy a chance to get back there, and Hewitt able to get it back to the line of scrimmage, so 2nd down and 10.
Well, big thing for the Hilltoppers. Eat some time off the clock, pick up a couple first downs on this drive. Make it tougher for Mayfield. All good under center. Will hand the ball off. And was that Caleb? Yes, it is. Caleb carries it near side, picks up about 5 on that run for 3rd down and about medium.
Yeah, Hewitt runs it there to the short side of the field. They're on the near hash, and he gets to that sideline. He does pick up 5, so it'll be 3rd down and 5. So this is a very manageable 3rd down for the Hilltoppers. Despite having that 0-yard gain on 1st down, Hewitt puts them in position here to keep the drive going.
Well, you might argue this could be the biggest play of the game defensively for the Wildcats if they can get this stop. Drayton Allgood from the gun, flushing out right side. Sees a couple Wildcats, gets the throw off. It is caught 1st down and a little bit more than spun out of bounds really late. There's the flag. I think that was Caleb who made the catch. And now more flags.
Yeah, I do believe it was Hewitt who was out there, and he makes a great catch to pick up the 1st down. He got open in space. Then he gets out of bounds, and right now Coach Hewitt wants his guys out of there. He's telling them to back away from the Mayfield players as he comes out there. Let the officials sort this out.
It was definitely a late tackle.
Yeah, the first flag is for that late hit out of bounds. Now the second flag, what was going on over there on the far sideline?
So personal foul against Mayfield. And a personal foul against the Hilltoppers. So those penalties will wipe each other out.
The penalties come after the gain, so it should still be 1st down Chardon out here at the 33-yard line. Play should count, and it does. They're going to move those chains.
Well, Drayton Allgood has made some big plays with his arm today.
Yeah, he absolutely has, and that was a nice throw. And it was a nice route by Hewitt, too. Got himself open there in some space right at the 1st down marker. Well executed on the 3rd down pass play.
From their own 33. Man goes in motion. They hand it off. It's Caleb trying to make a cut. He's got running room 40, 45, 50, and taken out of bounds inside the 40-yard line. He had one man to beat, and Cam Grady just had the better angle to force him out of bounds.
Yeah, the defender comes in to get a tackle on Hewitt, and it wasn't a great effort, and Hewitt just kind of jumped around him, and then there was no one there. He had plenty of space after that, and we saw that great speed, and he takes off down the field and moves the chains, getting into Mayfield territory.
And something's... Wonder. Not sure what that was.
Thought someone called a timeout, but that wasn't the case, so I don't know.
I was looking around, maybe he thought someone was injured, but yeah. Regardless, 1st and 10 Hilltoppers now on the Mayfield 38-yard line. Beckett Dotson goes in motion, but instead it's Drayton Alden who's got the run. Drayton all alone into the end zone. Touchdown, Toppers.
And Matt, there were 1, 2, 3 Wildcats on the ground who dove at him, and he just stepped right out of their tackles. And once he got past the 3 of them, there was nothing. He takes off into the end zone for a touchdown, and left in his wake 3 Wildcats laying on the turf after missed tackles.
Now that run was all good by Drayton.
There you go.
Been waiting for that one all year.
Well done.
Thank you.
I actually think you used it in week 2, but we'll let you use it again.
But boy, you just see the explosiveness of the junior quarterback right there.
Absolutely. He gets out of those tackles. They're basically laying in a straight line where he left them as he ran through their tackles, and then he just takes off.
PAT is up, and it is good. With 9:47 to go, Chardon in command, 24-7.
Oh, hey, the Toppers go on the road to close out the regular season, and as we have for years, GTV will provide live audio coverage of the games at North and Riverside the next 2 weeks. If you can't make the games, tune into GTV, channel 1025, or get the Cablecast app at your phone store and listen through that cool feature. It's too early to tell if GTV will be able to live stream any playoff games, but we'll be sure to keep you posted as the playoffs arrive. Check channel 1025 for details as they become available.
Going to be a very interesting Week 10 matchup at Riverside. Of course, Dave Boer's no longer the head coach there, so you wonder, I mean, he knew Chardon to a T, if you will. So you wonder how the new head coach, Jeremy Ishmael, is going to do.
Yeah, we'll have to see how that goes. I mean, definitely under Boers, the Riverside game was absolutely always a battle. And, of course, Riverside got the big win a couple of years ago in that one. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens in that matchup. And that's Week 10 is going to be important for both teams as far as where they're going to fall in the seeding in their respective regions. So that's going to be a big matchup that week.
Yeah, I will say this. I will miss Dave Boers because he was just great to talk with, gave us a lot of information. True pro. Just great to work with in terms of him wanting to promote his student athletes.
And, of course, he is still at Riverside as the athletic director, just not on the field as the head coach anymore.
That kick goes out of bounds. And Ryan, it's back to the Hilltopper defense to get a stop here. And you got to feel now with 9:47 left to play, the Wildcats will need some urgency, and they're going to likely have to start abandoning the run at some point and just focus on trying to go through the air.
Yeah, you know, the thing they had going for them on the last drive when they moved the football a little bit, down 10 in the third quarter, they could. Now they're down 17 in the fourth quarter, and I think you're right, Matt. The run kind of goes away here. You become one-dimensional, and you just don't want to be one-dimensional against this defense.
Could be worse. They could be the Browns' office and be no-dimensional. Handoff. And nothing going there for Corritt.
There's a flag on the play. It's an illegal procedure against Mayfield, so going to wipe that off and have them take a loss of 5.
Now, this is where it becomes so difficult against the Hilltopper defense. They get keyed in, and man, when Coach Landis has them dialed up right, they're so hard to attack.
Well, and so the Hilltoppers, actually, and I'm not surprised, they elect to take the play. So Mayfield, a loss of a yard, will be at 2nd down and 11.
Rogers dropping back the pass, has a man, a nice little hit, and there's the stop. Catch was made first off by J.D. Dinnan.
But the defender was right there. Dinnan had to stop and turn his back to the defense and wait for the ball to come. And so the hit came quickly. Mayfield does pick up a couple of yards to flip them to a 3rd down and 8. That was a nice play, the Hilltopper defense right there.
Was that Mannery that made this stop?
Yes, it was.
Haven't called Kevin's name a lot, but of course, one of the guys in the secondary, 13 tackles, entering this game. A lot of speed. Rogers looking to throw left side. Overshot his intended target. Was looking for Reed. They've tried a number of times on that combination, but they just have not been able to get it to go.
No, they have not been able to connect. And before the game, Coach Bandera was hopeful that they would have some opportunities in the passing game. And they've tried to make that work numerous times, and they just have not connected tonight. And you wonder if that play was one of the things they thought they had in there, and they've never gotten it tonight. Good defense by the Hilltoppers. I mean, the Hilltoppers do a good job out there in the secondary, and they've been making nice plays on Reed all night.
It is 4th down and 8. Are they going to? Now they're going to punt the football with 8:46 to play. Wobbly end-over-end kick. It's low, but it takes a Wildcat bounce and will come to a stop at the 25.
So here come the Hilltoppers offensively again, and now they've got this game in control. Again, give Mayfield credit. They're well coached. They had a good plan coming in, and they stayed in this game. But the Hilltoppers are the better team, and as the game wore on, that started to matter more and more, and Chardon has pulled away with it now. But you can never count Mayfield out. They're always going to give you a battle.
Indeed, and you also look at this. Mayfield, quite a few more two-way players than Chardon. They're just starting a little tired period. Handoff. Bucket Dotson running room. He has a couple guys trying to catch up with him. Dotson to the 20, to the 10. He's into the end zone. Touchdown. A 75-yard run for Beckett Dotson. He may want to get the ball more.
I was going to say Beckett Dotson. How about Beckett Dotson here on his senior night? Getting in there on the offensive side of the football. He has the touchdown reception to give Chardon the lead at the end of the first half, and now he caps off a big second half for the Hilltoppers with a 75-yard touchdown run. He got by 2 tacklers. There was nothing in front of him. He was gone. What a run by Beckett Dotson. And what a game on his senior night. 2 touchdowns for Beckett Dotson tonight.
We can't say coming out party because he had been a major factor on this team from the get-go. But the contributions tonight on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, he had the interception, too. 2 plays before his touchdown reception in that first half.
PAT is good with 8:26 to go. It is Chardon 31, Mayfield 7.
Please remember, nonprofit organizations in our funding communities can send us their announcements of interest at GTV. P.O. Box 336 Chardon. Fax us at 285-9897 or email us at geaugatv@windstream.net.
Well, the Hilltopper seniors have made sure that they would get to defend the hill one final time and defend the hill they have tonight. It was touch and go there in that first half, but Ryan, this second half has been all Hilltoppers.
Yeah, and the Hilltoppers very well could get back here. Week 11, we'll have to see how things play out. I think a lot of prognosticators have them projected as somewhere around a 9 seed, but they could also end up as an 8 seed, and there's still plenty of time for that to sort out. But if this is, in fact, the last chance for these seniors to defend the hill, they have done that here tonight.
Well, what's interesting is you look at Drew Pastor's Fantastic50.net. I refer to that. 21% chance to be a number 9 seed, 19% to be a 10 seed, 14% to be an 8 seed, 12% to be a 5 seed. Interesting how those numbers play out. Kickoff taken at the 10. Left side to the 20, 25, 30. 35, 40 knocked out of bounds. Nice return by the Wildcats for Max Thurman.
Yeah, I mean, and we talk about the prognostications. We talked about this last week on the broadcast. Just, not really a whole lot of points at the end of the season here for the Hilltoppers. And so it depends on, the thing about these prognosticators is everyone else who he thinks is going to finish in front of Chardon, has to win their games and go out there and do all that. So you never know. But, yeah.
The other thing to think about is Rogers looking to throw the ball left side, and it's over Reed's head and out of play. But there's a huge matchup tomorrow in Division III Region 9.
Yeah, and a lot of things are going to be figured out. Ursuline taking on VASJ, and I think most people have Ursuline tabbed as the favorites in Division III Region 9 this year. But VASJ has had a really good season, and this is going to be the biggest matchup on the Vikings' regular season schedule, and it'll be a real measuring stick for everyone to find out where the Vikings are at right now.
No, I think also you look at it vice versa. We're going to find out a lot about Ursuline too in that one. Make no mistake about it. Handoff and being spun around near the line of scrimmage and brought down was Jack Pinzoni. And you have to wonder at this point in time, Ryan, if Mayfield realizing, man, we're going to have to mix up that run just to keep our quarterback alive.
I was going to say, at this point, you're down 31-7, and yeah, part of this is just, let's go out there and run the playbook and see what happens. You're late in the game, 8 minutes to go, and just keep everyone healthy. As Mayfield's going to find themselves in a position now where they need to win out if they want to make the postseason.
Rogers looking to throw down the left sideline again, just too much on it. And you look at the young man, and he's not looking away any of his receivers. It's first read throw right away. He's made up his mind as soon as he gets the ball who he's throwing to.
Yeah, and he's going down there, and he let that one go down the sideline for Max Thurman. He just wasn't able to get it there, and the timing, especially on those deep throws, has been off tonight for Mayfield. And so that part of the passing game never really developed for them.
What's going to be real interesting as you start to look at, and we'll be talking more about this in the next 2 weeks as that playoff picture becomes more clear. Punt up, and Caleb Hugh going to watch it bounce, and will take a few more bounces inside the 20 and roll to a stop just shy of the 16-yard line. But you have Canfield right now sitting at 3-4, and the big question is, are they going to have enough points left on their schedule to eke into the playoffs? Right now, they have a 21% chance of not making the playoffs at all.
Canfield doesn't miss the playoffs very often, but you look at, on the other side, D3 Region 10, Tiffin, Columbia, and there are a lot of teams that are usually the programs that are there every year that have been having down seasons this year, and it's opened some things up for some other teams you don't see in there very often.
No, and you take a look at what's going on in Region 5, Division 2, Region 5. Solon 2-5 this year. Been rough for the Comets. Handoff. And Roboleski spun around and brought down around the 21.
Three-yard pickup there.
Starting to see a few new jerseys enter this contest. All good, though, still the QB. All good will give it up, going ahead and pushing the pile forward for a few more yards. That's not Platts, that's a different number.
Number 15
for the Hilltoppers. Cal Smith, the backup fullback. So Coach Mitch Hewitt relieving his starters for the night. As a matter of fact, I think we've got multiple new guys up on the offensive line as well. Mixing guys in and out. 5:55 clock running here. It's 3rd and 1 for Chardon. They give it up. And Chardon on the ground should get the first down out to about the 31-yard line.
There'll be enough to move the chains for Chardon.
Smith again with the carry. Kevin Mannery entering the game. Nice to see some of these seniors like Kevin Mannery. Mannery started the year on offense, but quickly was determined he's really needed on the defensive side of things. So nice to see Kevin getting a couple offensive snaps here. Allgood going to keep it left side. Has a running room knocked out of bounds near midfield, but I think I saw a flag come in late.
Yeah, there's going to be a hold here against Chardon. You're getting here late in the game, you got some of the second unit guys in there against still Mayfield's first, and a holding penalty is committed out here, so that'll push it back 10 yards. 10 yards from the spot, of course, so it actually sets up a first down and 11 for the Toppers.
New QB in the game as well for the Hilltoppers. It's A.C. Cole, the freshman. 6'1", 162 now piloting the team here with about 5:20 to play before this one's over. Cole going to hand it off, running right side, picking up some room across the 35 out near the 38-yard line, and that's Nick Meyer.
Nice run out to the right. Picking up 6 yards on first down to set up second down and 4. Now under 5 minutes to play.
Now junior Carson Hope, the offensive lineman, comes out of the game, starting left guard. Second and 4 from the 37. Handoff, lowering his shoulder, crossing the 40.
Be a third down and about 1 now for the Toppers.
It's Cal Smith. Well, Chardon doing what Chardon does best, Ryan, and that's grinding out yardage, running time off the clock.
Yep. Winding down the rest of this game here. Need to pick up a yard to keep winding it down.
Smith, no, check that. On the left side, A.C. Cole brings it out to midfield, picks up the first down.
A nice job there on the keeper, pulling it down and moving it out toward midfield. Out to the 49-yard line of the Hilltoppers is where it will be spotted.
A.C. Cole, the apparent eventual heir to Drayton Allgood, has played well in his relief time. Of course, that's something we worry about 2 years down the road.
Yes.
First and 10 Toppers. They go back to the ground game. They can, I should say, continue on with the ground game, push the pile ahead. Hilltoppers will have a second down and 6 now from the Mayfield 47. Clock moving, about 3 minutes left in this one. Again, folks, another reminder, next week, Toppers will play a Friday night game, and they'll be headed up my way to Nick Carter Stadium.
Yeah, up there in East Lake, Ohio, take on the North Rangers.
Second closest stadium to my house. Actually, technically third.
Yeah, I would imagine South's a bit closer to you.
Well, yeah. Well, first, Wycliffe's right in my backyard.
Yeah,
it's a
and then
5-minute
south.
walk.
Yep.
But yeah, it's south and then north. So I appreciate that close game.
Now we have a timeout taken by Chardon, and we'll take one more chance to remind you, since Matt brought it up, that as the Toppers go on the road, as we have for years, GTV will be there providing live audio coverage of the games at North and Riverside. If you can't make the games, tune into GTV, channel 1025, or get the Cablecast app at your phone store and listen through that cool feature. It's too early to tell if GTV will be able to live stream any playoff games, but we'll be sure to keep you posted as the playoffs arrive. Check channel 1025 for details as they become available.
Second and 6 for the Toppers from the Mayfield 47. Handoff looking for something to develop, but nothing opening up there for Sawyer Smith. And it'll be third down and long for Chardon. Clock continuing to burn. About 2:10 left to play. And the crazies ready to get crazy here. Those seniors know what this game means. Handoff. Pushing the pile ahead, and another first down for the Hilltoppers. Again, with Sawyer Smith with the carry. And this will just about do it. Toppers will likely have to run 2 more plays, I believe, depending on when the officials start the play clock.
Now, they were marked short, so the first thing they have to do is pick up a first down as they're facing a fourth down and 1 here.
Take that back. They got to get to the 41. They're on the 42. Cole looking over the field. Comes under center. Sends a man in motion. Hands it off. Toppers now get that first down across the 35 down to the 34-yard line.
That was Ben Schmackian, sophomore running back.
You know, haven't had an opportunity to mention this, by the way, but up on the scoreboard, it's flashing the GOAT. Want to send our sincerest congratulations out to Chardon Athletic Director Doug Snyder, who has announced that he will be retiring at the end of the year, and they have shirts with his picture on it that says the GOAT, and it is certainly well-deserved. One of the best ADs that I have worked with in my 20-plus years of covering sports. Doug certainly takes care of the teams, the coaches, and the media. And going to be a little bit different around here next year, but we certainly wish him the best as things play out. Of course, he's still got some work to do.
That's right.
And so do we. And so does this Hilltopper team. They take a final knee and they win tonight 31-7 as the final seconds tick off of this one. With that, we're going to step aside. When we come back, we'll wrap this one up right here on GTV.
The Chardon Hilltopper Gridiron Club, in association with GTV, proudly presents Chardon Hilltopper Varsity Football. Tonight's game is brought to you by the Chardon Gridiron Club, the original Burr Funeral Home and Cremation Service, Chardon Smile Center, Achilles Running Shop, Ashes Mayfield Window Cleaning Company, Best Funeral Homes, the Junction Auto Family, Precision Orthopedics Specialties, Roniak Paving, Remax Traditions, Dan McCaskey and Terry Combs, El Patron Mexican Grill and Cantina, the Chardon Athletic Boosters. Chardon Hilltopper Football is also brought to you by GTV.
Welcome back, everyone. Chardon Memorial, Matt Jaworski, Ryan Radke with you. Final tonight, and it's a good one. Hilltoppers 31, Wildcats 7. With the win, Chardon improves now to 5-2 on the year. And with the loss, Mayfield falls to 3-5. Ryan, was a tough first quarter for the Hilltoppers, but they rebounded nicely after that.
Yeah, you've got to give the Mayfield Wildcats credit. As we said multiple times during the broadcast, they're well coached. They came in with a good plan. They were executing in the first quarter. They had a 7-0 lead. Chardon only ran 3 plays on offense in that first quarter. Chardon had a 10-point run in 20 seconds in the last 2 minutes of the half to take a 10-7 lead into the locker room. And as we give credit to Mayfield, now you flip it over and say what a good job the Hilltoppers did tonight, because they sort of survived the best Mayfield had to bring, and then as the game went on, Chardon was the better team, and they played like the better team. They slowly ground the Wildcats down and pulled away and came away with a 31-7 victory. If you only walked in with 2 minutes left, you wouldn't have thought it was close at halftime, because the Hilltoppers really did a really nice job of facing that adversity and coming out and pulling away at the end.
Got to mention this. What a game by Beckett Dotson tonight. An interception. He had a 32-yard touchdown reception 2 plays after the interception. And then with 8:26 to go in this one, he had a 75-yard touchdown run.
Yeah, that was a huge touchdown run, but I think that interception was a real inflection point in this game. Chardon had kicked a field goal. Mayfield was going to try to see if they could extend their lead before the break. Dotson gets the interception. 2 plays later, touchdown reception. Chardon had the lead going into the locker room, never looked back.
Of course, do want to congratulate all the seniors, because this was senior night, and if this was the final time that they defend the Hill again, that's yet to be seen, but at least in the regular season, they went out on top.
Yes, they did. It was a great performance tonight by the Chardon Hilltoppers seniors, and they come away with the win on senior night, 31-7.
Well, that will do it for us. I want to thank our camera crew tonight, executive producer Dave Jebnikar, my partner Ryan Radke, and also Brett for keeping us up and on the air back at Mission Control. I am Matt Jaworski. On behalf of all the rest, we wish you all the best.